Hello everyone, welcome to AKS IAS main section of free initiative. This is Santosh Koka. Today we will discuss one important question. Before that, we will check small information. APSc Group 1 English medium classes have been started. Our services including digital classrooms, time-bound completion of syllabus, state level test series, updated study material and monthly current affairs magazine. For more information, you can call these numbers. So let's check today's main section of free initiative, 5 most important questions from paper 2 section 2, that is Telangana history. So discuss the contributions of the Satavahanas to the cultural development of Telangana. How did the Ikshvakus continue these cultural traditions? Here discuss means we need to write about positives and also negatives, right? So contributions Satavahanas to the cultural development of Telangana. How did the Ikshvakus continue these cultural traditions? Here we need to provide both positives and negatives, and also finally Ikshvakus contribution also we need to write in the second part, right? So in the conclusion we can connect next developments, right? So next, evaluate the significance of the Sammaka Saraka protest movement. How did it reflect resistance against the Kakatiya and Qutub Shahi rulers? Here we need to focus on our question tag evaluate. Here we need to provide facts, examples, etc. Right? Here significance is the most important, first important keyword. Sammaka Saraka protest movement, right? How did it reflect resistance against the Kakatiya and also Qutub Shahi rulers? Here we can give separate side headings with information, right? So finally conclusion level we can connect next developments, or we can connect our present relevance in the conclusion part, right? This is the perfect structure. Next, examine the contributions of the Nizam's reign to Telangana's industrial development. How did the establishment of industries transform the economy? Here, examine is very important question tag here, right? Facts and examples regularly we need to write it. So, contributions of Nizam's rise here. Contributions means we can write positives or negatives here to Telangana's industrial development. How did the establishment of industries transform the economy? We need to give some important transformation here. So finally in the conclusion part we can connect this particular relevance, present relevance in the conclusion part, right? So our next developments, right? Next, evaluate the role of Komaram Bhim. This question is very important. This question only we are taking today in detail. Next, discuss the emergence of composite culture in Telangana under the Qutub Shahi dynasty. How did the literary and library movements contribute to this cultural identity? Here, discuss is positives and negatives. We need to write both. Emergence of composite culture in Telangana under the Qutub Shahi dynasty, right? So how did the literary and library movements contribute to this cultural identity? Here first important thing is we need to write regarding the particular Qutub Shahi dynasty, emergence of composite culture, positives and negatives. How did the literary and library movements contribute to this cultural? And finally we can write some limitations also, right? Here. Otherwise we can connect here only negative, right? So this is the perfect structure for all 5 questions, important questions. Next, check today's question for 12th October 2024, paper 2, section 2, history and cultural heritage of Telangana. Evaluate the role of Komaram Bhim in the Adivasi revolts against the Nizam. How did these movements influence tribal rights in Telangana? Here we need to start our important strategy, that is 3 steps before writing answer, right? Here first thing is we need to identify different question tags and keywords. Evaluate is the very important question tag here. We need to give some facts and examples here, right? So role is very important. Here we need to focus on providing the role of Komaram Bhim in the Adivasi revolts. This is the particular important topic. Here we can add before the role, we can start with our some regions of Adivasi revolts, right? What are the Adivasi revolts against this particular Nizam? Or we can add with a flowchart here, right? How did these movements influence? Influence means here we need to focus on providing some consequences or influence, impact here, right? So impact is the important keyword here, right? In the conclusion itself we can connect some limitations especially of these movements, right? So this is the perfect structure. If we connect some structure, create some structure of some skeleton of structure here, especially for the body part. First important thing is we can write some reasons of that particular particular revolts, right? Next, role of Komuram beam. Third important thing is we can connect, or in the particular second part of the question, that is influence, right? Very important. So finally, fourth one, before conclusion or conclusion itself, we can connect some limitations, right? So this is the perfect structure according to the demand of the question. So here, brainstorming. In the brainstorming, we need to focus on recalling important keywords related to the particular topic. Here we can add some time periods, because this is regarding history subject, right? We need to connect some add some time periods, timelines, right? Otherwise we can connect some slogans of Komuram beam, Jal Jungle, right? Jal Jungle Jameen. Army, we have Maave Meti and Maave Desh, right? So these type of slogans need to be included here and there. And also we have Forest Rights Act, we can connect, right? 2006, that is also very important regarding the particular relevance of the topic, right here. So especially, and also other Telangana peasant armed struggle also we can connect here, especially it is 1946 to 51, that is also influenced from these particular movements, right? We can also add some important provisions or fifth schedule, etc., right? After particular impact only these were created, right? So these particular provisions, articles need to be included, right? So these are the brainstorming session. So next, let's start our introduction part here. Current affairs introduction, we can sometimes we can add here. So especially in this particular topic, we can add the legacy of Adivasi leader Komuram Beam has gained renewed attention, especially previously Telangana government officially commemorated his struggle by installing his statue at Tank Bund, right, in Hyderabad 2021. That is also very important, right? So otherwise we can add with his slogan, right, in the background topic. That is also very important. So we can start regarding static background. We can add our Adivasi movements, whatever we have rewards, right? Especially we need to connect our particular timeline, 1930s to 40s, right? Very, very important. So these type of issues need to be included. These are the against Nizam of policies of Nizam in the particular 1930s, 40s, right? So next, body part. In the body part, we can connect this particular structure, whatever we created before, right? First important thing is we can connect some reasons in the simply we can connect in a flow chart, right? In the body part, role of Komuram beam in the Adivasi revolts is very important here. First important thing is leadership against oppression. That is very important, against oppression. Here he particularly led the Gond community in revolt against the Nizam's revenue policies, right? Gond community also such an important keyword here, right? He organized armed resistance uniting tribal groups against landlords who imposed illegal tax here, right? So very important. So next important thing is we can add some, his uprising in the 1940s in the Asifabad region became a symbol of Adivasi defiance against the feudal exploitation also here, right? So otherwise we can add his slogan also, Jal Jungle and Jameen, right? Key demand of Adivasi movements, this is very important, right? Demand for control over water, forests and land, essential resources for Adivasi survival is this slogan meaning, right? He emphasized that Adivasi should be the rightful owners of these resources, whatever there, right? So in 2021 also Telangana government's forest rights drive seeks to restore these tribal lands, reflecting the enduring influence or relevance of Beam's demands, right? So next we have influence on subsequent tribal movements in Telangana especially, right? So impact or influence need to be included in the second part, whatever we have in the question, right? So influence need to connect here, right? Subsequent tribal movements in Telangana is very important inspiration for future, because Komram Bhim's movement is inspiration to other movements, right? Especially his fight for tribal autonomy and land rights set a precedent for the resistance seen during the Telangana peasant armed struggle also. That is also very important, 1946 to 51, right? So according to the recent ministry also, some tribal ministry of Tribal Affairs Telangana has made strides in recognizing the Forest Rights Act under Forest Rights Act 2006 also, right? That is also very important. These are also partly inspired by historical struggles like Beams. So next we have impact on tribal rights in Telangana, especially formal recognition of our tribal rights. That is also very important here. So he particularly Komaram Beams brought attention to the lack of rights and exploitation of tribal communities here, right? This has resulted in several policies, especially we can implementation of 5th schedule we can talk about, right? That is also very important. And also Telangana's recent efforts to distribution pattas, also land ownership documents to Adivasis for forest lands, are a direct outcome of historian struggles only, right? We can connect recent influence also here. Influence means not only at that time, right? So cultural and political influence also we can write cultural and political. That is also very important here. Especially we need to connect here cultural aspects also, right? So creation of tribal identity, his legacy is celebrated in various cultural forms and his story has become a unifying symbol for Adivasis also, right? The installation of his idol is very much important here, right? Komram Bhim's statue and the declaration of public holidays on his birth anniversary also very important, right? So otherwise here we can connect some limitations. Whatever limitations of these movements we need to focus on providing here. Localized impact is very much important. Localized important, only limited to localized people, right? While Komram Bhim's revolts were influential, they were largely localized and did not spread beyond specific tribal regions. That is the major reason. Next, delayed legislative reforms also other important limitation here. Though Bhim's revolt highlighted the exploitation of Adivasis, formal legislative changes for tribal rights such as whatever we have Forest Rights Act 2006 only came decades later, reflecting a delayed response to these early movements. Only the response is this only, right? So because of these particular movements. Finally, in the conclusion part, we can connect here. So these movements laid the foundation for subsequent, means we are connecting next developments or next influencing subsequent tribal movements and shaped policies aimed at protecting tribal rights in Telangana, especially because of these movements, right? So otherwise today also his struggle continues to inspire ongoing efforts to ensure the dignity and rights of Adivasi communities, right? That is also relevance, we can write here present relevance, right? It reflecting the present relevance of his movement in Telangana's socio-political landscape also, right? So Forest Rights Act or tribal development initiatives are continuing to address the issues raised by Beam type of people here, right? That is the most important thing need to be connected here in the conclusion part, right? This is the perfect structure according to the demand of the question, right? Let's take tomorrow's question, that is day 95 questions for 14th October 2024. Paper 2 History, Culture and Geography, Section 3 Geography of India. 5 most expected questions are here. El Nino and La Nina is very important, and also India's strategic location in the Indian Ocean. Problems of interstate water sharing also very important. Major mineral resources in India, and also spatial pattern of urbanization also very important, right? Prepare these 5 questions. I will give one question from these 5 questions. Write your answer and upload in the AKS app. Thank you very much. All the very best.